Okay. Last session it's pretty easy to recap. You guys made your way back to Beacon, and then you had a big shopping episode and talked to some people and had some great inter-character RP. Some people learned some new abilities and spells. It's kind of like Xander and Razier kind of playing off each other. Throne went and met some old crotchety lock maker, that was a hilarious interaction. What did Duke do? I don't remember what Duke did. What did Duke do?
Duke didn't do a whole lot. I got my gold mask made, talked to the blacksmith, and then...
Duke was watching a movie.
Duke was watching a movie.
Yeah,
I'm not watching a movie today.
We're always going to rag on you for stuff like that, but don't take it too personally.
That's fair. I won't take it that personal. I'll just cry every time I log off. I'll sing it out in karaoke.
We don't want you to hate us and not want to come back and play with us. So
he logs off and he's just like, I hate them.
Yeah,
I hate them. I can't wait to see them again next week.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's it.
And I think Louise, who usually takes things fairly seriously, was kind of hanging out with Xander and checking out to see. I think you found out that the Raiders of Nixrunen were there when you were having your conversation with Zanladir in the Old Hammer. What else did Louise do?
I got night vision goggles.
That's right, he did.
But apart from that, got a few things for the trip. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Big old shopping episode. And then you bought some horses. We learned of a new friend to the party, Spara, who was summoned up by Razier, who you guys then took off. We kind of we didn't roll anything, but we kind of had a description of kind of the flat grasslands type, or rolling hills grasslands kind of area that you guys were traversing through. I think we even skipped the first rest, which was in the middle of those fields, because I was like, you guys are just exuding so much confidence and like excitement for your journey that any and all bad things stayed away from you that particular day, even though you were out in the open, exposed to everything. You traveled the next day, which was a clear sky, I believe. And so we pick back up where you are about to settle in for your first day, or first night rather, staying within the South Holt. Let me pull this up real quick. There we go. Sure. Okay. Now, would you guys like to, or who would like to make a survival check to find a nice place to rest for the evening?
I got like a 5 to that. Anyone else beat it?
6.
Alright, I'll give you a hand.
Alright.
Our 2 survivalists.
Guidance.
Alright.
He didn't. Who said guidance?
I always forget. I can do guidance. Right. I will remember.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm gonna do critical role guidance so hard.
There you go. Nice.
Everything gets guided.
Guidance. Yeah. Has a range of touch, I believe. A 21. Going through and kind of looking through the spaces that are here, you travel on for probably an additional 10 minutes longer than maybe you were expecting to, but you find the perfect spot where there's this massive tree with roots that are kind of like, it's almost like the tree's been partially kind of kicked over to the side, and these roots create this like alcove. There isn't a road that you're traversing on, so you're literally just traveling through the forest and happen to see, although Louise does, off in the distance a little bit, and you go and kind of set up under this tree. Are you guys lighting a fire?
Probably similar to last time. Dig a pit, small fire, just to have something ready to go if needed for whatever reason.
Okay.
Yeah, not too close under the tree because the smoke could light the leaves on fire. So.
Yeah, I mean, sitting underneath it, I mean, this tree is fairly massive for the other trees that are around here. It's much larger for some reason, and it's sitting down, it's probably about 5 or 6 feet above you at this point, so there's plenty of room to kind of huddle in this space, and there's enough room for everybody to settle in. The horses you can kind of tie off to the side, and Zanladir goes about, seeing that you've dug the pit and set the fire, brings out a pot and starts making some kind of soup over it.
All right. Super.
It's dark right now, right?
It is. The sun has gone down. It's pitch black except for the light that's coming out of the pit that's there, kind of slightly reflecting off of the wooden underneath root portion of this tree.
While we have downtime, Duke would like to kind of just stand on the edge of the perimeter, kind of make a circle and keep an eye and ear out.
Okay.
I'm gonna flavor it this way because I have the Devil's Sight, but my golden eye is shining oh so slightly brighter than my light blue eye, so I feel that. I think that's so dope. But Xander's kind of looking around and he's like, "This is so weird. I can see everything for the first time, like at night. Like it's not dark. How do you sleep? You don't sleep." I feel like with all the color that I can still see, it's so disorienting.
You'll get used to it. And you can just close your eyes.
Yeah, I guess. That's
So
not as fun.
wait, does that mean that when
No.
we're translucent because of the goo, you're always gonna see even when you try to sleep?
Dear God, never say words. That's awful. What an awful and horrendous thought.
Yeah, let's avoid that.
That's funny. Yeah, it's a perfect combination for a surgeon.
Ooh.
Maybe infect them with the disease so you can see inside their bodies and get at their organs without cutting them open.
Jeez.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So you guys set up for the evening. Who would like to take? Are you guys going to do watches or just bed down for the night?
Watches. I ain't been in no woods where I haven't been attacked once. So
Yeah,
True.
definitely watches. Remember, I have an 18 passive perception sim, just so you know.
23.
Okay. I don't know if your passive perception comes into play necessarily when you're sleeping. I guess it does, but still, you're sleeping.
I'm
All right, so-
about to get alert. All right, don't tempt
Who's
me.
who's who's taking first watch?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Duke will.
By yourself?
Duke will take.
I mean, I'm always conscious.
You're okay. I forgot about that. So your eyes are just open all the time. You just have to be in a restful state for 4 hours, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
That's so insane. That's
so-
so awful.
as it gets
Wait till I get
later-
another trick down the line.
Oh no, aren't you got the one that makes it so you don't need to sleep actually? The
No, I
invocation?
already have that. I'm talking. There's something I can do with my familiar, so that I can still basically walk around and talk, but through my familiar
That's terrifying.
while
Hack
I'm
the
resting.
chain.
His
Hack
horse
the
starts
chain.
Why is
The
the
horse
horse?
Oh yeah,
is
my
just buying
my
things.
spooky looking horse is gonna start talking in my gravelly southern drawl.
I
Yeah,
don't like it.
BoJack Horseman.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gets later in the day. It's time to kind of bed down for the evening. So everybody kind of you settle in your camp. So either both of you can roll for a perception check, or one of you can roll with advantage. I do have a new mechanic in place that I just came. Well, I've had it in my mind for a long time, and I just actually wrote it down today. So in addition to your perception checks, I would like anyone, to roll a d20, please.
Yes.
Just a d20.
Here.
This is the does something attack us while we rest table.
14.
I don't know why that took you so long.
Oh, damn it.
We even
Okay.
sat there and did nothing for a while.
Well, I'm taking the first roll that came through on the virtual tabletop, so it's a 4.
Donnie just got us killed, guys.
So
Probably.
Dick.
Oh no.
your watch goes by relatively uneventful. you do notice that there, as opposed to the majority of your travels throughout the day where there was not very much animal life in the vicinity, it seems that there's like some snapping of twigs, like kind of a ways off in the forest, like something's kind of moving, but nothing seems to be like coming towards the camp that you can see, at least. The one thing that does catch your attention is that there is a single crow up above, like in the boughs of a tree, maybe about 20, 30 feet away from your camp, just kind of perched up on a branch, kind of like pecking and eating at something. Occasionally like looks around, looks down at you, and then goes back to its meal.
That's normal bird stuff.
Chilling up there. Yeah. Any conversation?
No,
I don't know what we are expecting to find in this ruin, but I do hope that nothing afoul runs or happens to us or this Zenla, dear fellow.
I don't know. Seems like trouble seems to follow us around.
This is true. Do you think that there could be anything larger going on in the world outside of Beacon? I mean, this seems so detached from what we've been doing, but I somehow feel like the gods are lining it up that things will always come back to one point.
Stuff's usually connected one way or another, whether it's in a big way or a small one. Some farmer has a bad harvest somewhere, and food can't travel as far, and there's stuff affects other stuff, and it all seems to kind of come together. Seems to be what life is about, or at least what it is.
I suppose that is a good point.
Stuff going on is going to affect other things. I don't know if that's avoidable.
You've seen a lot of troubles and different things in your travels, have you not?
I've seen a good bit in my time. Yeah.
Have you been to ruins like this before?
I've been by them, not into them. Seen them from a distance, heard about them. Ain't had no reason to go into them till now.
I'm sure there is a lot to find. I guess
World
we'll see.
used to be a real full place, so says the smart folk. So
Yes,
I'm sure there's something.
I am nervous, to say the least. This is all so new to me, and sometimes, the way people react to my stories or my declarations of the old gods coming, and it is an interesting place, to be sure. I will learn more, but sometimes I cannot help but wonder how much I am against the major beliefs that I have witnessed so far.
Right. Well, sometimes all you can do is stick to your guns, and you seem to be doing that quite well. And if you got the right words to say, then the right people will listen.
You are oddly inspiring for a man so cloaked in shadows and death.
I've seen enough in my life. I know a thing or two. Is that about all?
Very well.
You live long enough, you pick up enough stuff.
I'm glad to be traveling with you at least. You are confident, and you do as well stick to your guns. So to have someone like-minded, maybe not in belief, but in character, is fulfilling to a degree.
Yeah, it is nice. And I know what you're about, and you know what I'm about, and good base to start off with. Yeah, I agree.
So, who do you guys wake up for the second watch? Or Razir's just going to be awake. Duke, who do you wake up for the second watch? You can just let Razir be up, I guess.
I wake everybody up. No,
4-man second watch.
Louise. I wake up Louise.
Felix is like, really? He's like, are you serious?
All right.
Just as he gets his food. Oh my god.
Perfect time.
All right, so not much happened.
Nothing. The wildlife is active, but it, is the witching hour, and nocturnal creatures will begin to come out. I didn't see anything, didn't hear anything nefarious, but Razir will be awake. He is good company, so good luck, and yell really loud if something bad happens.
I'll keep that in mind. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Night. I'll just walk up closer to Razir, and yeah.
Okay. So again, you can either both roll a perception check for this second watch. Keep things short, even though I think four watches is the way it's supposed to be, but we're gonna do just 3 per night because it's whatever. Okay. Nat 20, first of the night. So okay. I would like somebody to please roll a d20. We're gonna do this for literally every watch that we do going forward.
Someone doing it? Or...
Is anybody else doing it, or can I do
I'll
it?
do it.
I got him.
Oh, the first one that comes through. All right, was Duke's.
Hey.
All right. So keeping an eye out, Louise kind of sitting by the fire, kind of making sure it's kind of stoked a little bit. You can hear the very soft snoring of Zanladir, who's just kind of comfy and kind of curled up, kind of next to Xander, like, but not on purpose. Like they were clearly like 5 feet apart when they went to bed, and then he's just like slowly inched his way through the dirt a bit. But as far as like being able to see out into the darkness, you don't have you have your night vision goggles, so you can actually. Is it 60 feet? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the two of you again, the watch goes by with not too much going on. Razir strikes you as curious. A second crow seems to have shown up in the same tree, and is just kind of chilling out in that same tree, kind of like not next to the other one. They're not even interacting with each other. It's like up on a higher branch. That's about it. So we'll consider this watch as successful, but what conversation you'd like, you can do that. Unless you don't want to talk to each other.
So, that horse you got, that's a new trick, right?
Yep.
I was wondering, because I know Xander's able to like kind of communicate with the Java. Can you do that with him?
Yeah, I think I can. He listens to me. He doesn't. Not much of a talker though, being a horse and all. But yeah, seems he can understand me.
There's a trick I'd like to try. Can you bring him out just for a bit?
All right.
All right.
Bring him
And
up.
I have primal awareness, so I can use speak with animals once a day, and I'll start speaking with the horse.
But it's a familiar though. Is it a?
But is it animal?
Isn't it
Not an
technically?
animal.
It's a fey creature.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
It's not an animal.
yeah.
The
It's-
rules,
it's definitely
the rules just
fey.
robbed
Yeah.
us. The rules
Yeah.
just robbed us of an epic moment.
It's definitely Fey.
This is why we need Pathfinder.
Oh, right. Well, okay. So, you maybe Louise probably wouldn't know that, so you probably would cast
Yeah.
speak with animals, and you're about to get a long rest anyway. So, what difference does it make, right? But, so you go to cast it, and go. So, what do you try to talk to it?
Yeah, just what are the components? Yeah, verbal and somatic. So basically, I go up to it and start petting its head and start trying to speak to it. And I guess I don't get anything back.
Well, you go up to it, and it's like stone cold, staring at you as you're approaching it, and doesn't move. There's no movement
blink.
at all. What's that?
Doesn't blink.
Does not blink. Just stares at you. There's no noises. There's no breathing. There's no breath in the cold, semi cold air that's kind of out here in the night at all. It just stares blankly at you. Go up to it. Do you like kind of
Yeah, I
pet it a little bit? Okay. It has no reaction whatsoever. Its eyes, just for a split second, kind of dart over to Razir for a half second, and then back to you, and then just stares at you as you're petting it. And you try and talk to it, and it just looks at
Yeah.
you, and that's it. There's no reaction at all.
Like I said, doesn't have much to say.
Yeah, and now that I'm seeing it from up close, it seems that it has a lot in common with you, actually.
Yeah, it matches me quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you talk to your bear like that, or is that
No, I haven't yet. I guess I could. I
not
know
a
it.
thing?
It understands me. Like
Right.
I could speak to it in basically any languages I know. I think,
Think so,
and
yeah.
it understands me, but it's a beast, so it's not. It won't speak back unless I uh, I use magic.
Right. So you say your brother can talk with his little furry friend, and it kind of like talks back to him, sort of.
I don't think it talks back, but I've seen it like when he's with it, like, all right, Java, go see that thing over there, and it immediately goes there, and like I think you've seen it like when he's like seeing through its eyes and stuff like that. Like
Right.
I think you like can send him orders when he's doing that, but
All right. I'll have to give that a try myself. See if my version of this situation can produce similar results.
yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
Okay. So, and after tonight's watches, or maybe the next night's watches, we'll probably. I'm not going to say skip them. They're still going to make them, but if you guys don't have anything necessarily to say and you kind of want
All
to
right.
move things along, we can do that. But we can go ahead and move on to the next watch, which will be the third and final. So, who are you waking up for this?
I'll go wake up Trell.
I knew he wouldn't wake up his brother.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Zender wants
oh,
to
no.
spend a lot of time with Zenladir, and Zenladir's getting closer to him.
Okay. So, how do you wake Thrall up? I'm just curious.
Oh God.
We don't have tents, right? We're just sleeping on the ground with our bedrolls, right?
Right.
So I just go up to her and stand a few feet back and just poke her with my staff, just see if she nudges a bit.
Thrall will groan like and lazily kind of throw the axe around. Like, it's not gonna even like hurt anyone if it touches it. It's just and then eventually, she'll open her eyes and wake up enough like, well, are we under attack?
No, but if you wake up and do the last watch, I'll give you breakfast tomorrow.
You like breakfast?
Yeah.
It's not bad. And then she'll stand up, stretch her back out, and you hear several loud pops as the spine goes back into play. Like, pop, 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 pop. All right, I'm up.
As that popping sound happens, Xanladir, you hear him go, and his arm just like folds over Xander.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all right. You're just two bros camping.
He's sleeping. Who knows what's happening? All right. So Louise goes to sleep. You, Thrall, go and take your position for watch. We got another round of perception checks and a single
At this
D20 roll from someone.
At this point, I am also up and moving around.
Okay. Again, this watch is another uneventful one, except for I'll just add one more detail. A third crow joins up in the tree, and they're all kind of having their meals and not really paying too much attention to each other. Occasionally, kind of looking down at you guys at the camp, and just hanging out up in the tree.
I'll look up at the crows. Like, we should be all right. Crows are smart. If you got crows nearby, there's
Right.
no danger.
Well, unless they are the danger, but could be either way.
That's just cheat. That's just cheat.
Right.
So, what did I miss? Anything happen?
Just them first two birds showing up. Now the third one.
All right, cool. Cool.
Hmm. Oh, the, Louise tried to talk to my horse. Didn't work for him with some of his nature magic stuff.
Well, yeah, that's a Fey horse.
Mm, it's something.
How does how
You
does
know what
Louis?
Fae are? You dabble in that much?
Every caster knows about, you know. Uh, hang on, my head doesn't work. Familiars and summoning steeds. We had a lot of guys that summon steeds back in the caravan. They're it's like a druid thing or something. I don't remember. Yeah, they're all
Uh,
like fey creatures. They just look like regular animals.
hmm. All right.
Yeah.
What about your boy?
Oh no, that's an actual animal. I broke to that one.
Right. Does most of your caravan have the wargs, or are they horseback?
Uh, my family does mostly wargs. Uh, but a majority of the caravan will just be horses. One guy had an elephant, which was weird. I don't know where he got that, but he had. It was crazy. Um,
What's an elephant?
uh, right? Yeah. Oh, it's this huge, humongous creature. Gentle as a freaking newborn, but
Like,
just
is we talking bigger than a horse then?
oh yeah, bigger than a
Like
horse.
a cow?
You can fit like 3 horses inside the space of an elephant. It's a huge creature. Think of like a
So like this big?
no, okay. Have you ever seen like a dire wolf or a
Yeah.
bugbear? You know how they're like
Not one of them, but
okay, like a
dire wolves are pretty
like
big.
dire
They're
wolf,
about
but
like that.
right. Okay, just okay. They double it and make it fat.
So they're like really really big fat dogs.
Yeah, they're like the
And they're
size of a giant bat. There's this old
you
children's
lose a
tale.
lot of fur off of something like that.
Well, they're they don't have fur is the thing.
They don't. Oh, they don't got hair on them.
No, they're like cows, or if it is fur, it's really fine.
All right, all right. That's got to look. And they got the long nose,
Yeah,
like a
long,
dog, or
big, long nose, like a kind of like a tentacle or a snake. Kind of, they can use it to or like a
on the
monkey
for the
tail.
nose.
Yeah, like a monkey tail. You can like grab
Monkey.
stuff with it. It's prehensile. It's crazy.
I
And
heard
then
of
they have
monkeys.
giant ears, big like sails at the side of their head, tusks like a boar. A bonkers
Oh,
creature.
okay. Oh, I'm gonna be honest. I'm having a hard time picturing one of these things. I'm just gonna have to see it. Maybe somebody can draw it or something. But
It's
giant, hairless, monkey-tailed, nose, boar tusk dog thing. All right.
absolutely bonkers.
Are they fast as well as big?
No, see, that was half the problem. They're not very fast. They can keep a very good pace for a long
So
time.
more like a giant pack mule. Then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They can carry like 5 times their weight.
Oh,
Absolutely
that does
powerful
sound pretty
creatures.
good for a caravan. I
Yeah.
see.
They were
Where
a
do they
little
come from?
I
They
don't
way up
know.
north?
I think they came from like across the ocean even. It had to be.
Across the ocean.
Maybe I don't know how this one came to be over in this area, but it's definitely not native to this continent, I'd tell you that.
All right. Wow, fine, unique specimen they got then.
I'm sure there's plenty of different animals that we haven't even seen yet, just over those mountains. Who knows what's over there?
Over the top of Epoch's chain, you talking?
Yeah, I mean we're connected by land, but no one's been over there
Uh,
to see nothing forever.
Not much past them turnback towers.
Mm-mm. I've always
The
wondered that. Always wondered.
you don't want to go there. I'll say that much.
Probably not. I mean, Maybe not in person.
You hear a lot when you're in and around River that a couple folks try and venture out that way and see what's there, but them towers are called Turnback for a reason.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we'll find a neat path through these mountains and the ruins. We don't have to deal with the towers. That'd be something else.
Maybe. Who knows what it was like in the old world? Find something, hopefully. This whole trip won't be a waste.
Well, at least we're getting a couple of gold out of it.
That's
Well,
true.
Yeah, I would like to be able to find something I can send back.
This whole time, I'm kind of like watching the crows as I'm talking, just to see what they're doing.
Okay. They stopped eating a while ago, but they keep making the motion like they're eating something, but there's nothing in their talons, claws, whatever they're called, and continuously looking around, but regularly look back at the camp where you guys are, for like kind of settle on you for like one at a time. We'll settle on the camp for like 5 or 10 seconds and then look around, and then looks like they're pretending to eat something, and then or maybe you just can't see that they have something in their talons, but definitely just kind of watching.
Them birds make me a little unsettled. They've been eating for a while, and most crows I seen don't take that long.
You know how long crows take to eat something?
Well, it ain't hours at a time when they got nothing left.
What are they eating?
Can't tell from here, but it looks like they've been done with it for a while. But they're definitely looking over this way.
Well, crows are super smart. I'm sure they got their reasons.
I'm just a tad wary about forest creatures in the woods itself after that run-in we had on our way back to Beacon with them forest creatures. Got me a little wary of the woods.
It's not a bad idea, but yeah, heck, it could even be old Odin's son just looking down at us. I wouldn't worry about it.
I don't know who that is, but if they're watching us, they got a reason.
He's an old demigod that took the form of crows to look over his folk.
That dwarven history?
Yeah, it's just an old dwarven fairy tale.
All right, I see. All right then.
Okay, so
And I'm gonna practice in doing trying to see through my familiar's eyes thing. Just test it out a couple times just to see how it feels. And
gotcha.
Xander, in the middle of the night, you see your friends and you riding a gray creature into the night. A massive one. A humongous creature, in fact. Guys, we'll have an elephant soon.
No.
RD mount. RD mount.
So far, from what Xander knows, things come to him when they're necessary or pertinent. But Xander knows why he's special by comparison to others with the same gifts. Others see different things than what Xander sees. Specifically time-related. Yeah, so the morning comes. You guys kind of wake up, and Zanladir kind of... It looks around to see if anybody notices the fact that he's, like, curled up
I'm
around
looking
Xander.
directly at it.
He, like, looks over.
Spooning.
Is breakfast ready?
Yeah, I was gonna get on that. We still have that deer meat, right?
Yeah, and we should probably get to using it. It's not going to hold
Yeah.
for much longer. Didn't bring nothing to preserve it.
Oh, I think I can help with that. I have been reading some at the temple, and I believe I've picked up some tricks.
Duke, I love you, buddy, but I've been going in the wild since I was like 5, 10, something like that. I've learned how to cook in the wild. You can lend a hand, but like in the morning, I
Oh,
just want to do my stuff.
I'm not going to cook. But I
Oh,
can
right.
purify the food. I can prevent rot and get rid of any putrefaction or anything.
That's a really useful skill.
I think so too.
Sure is.
Does
I can do it with water as well.
Does Xander always sleep in later than everyone else when everyone's talking?
He's still a growing boy.
Xander shakes you on the shoulder. I don't want to alarm you, but the forest may have some strange forces that cause people to like do weird things, and I don't want you to feel like there's anything strange going on. So, if if you wake up before I do, or if anyone wakes up before I do, and somehow I'm a bit closer to them than when I started sleeping originally, we may have to think about, does anyone carry any spells that like avoid dark forest magics or anything at all? Just a little worried that
I was trying to no homo is cuddling.
I'm side eyeing. I'm side eyeing Louise right now. I'm like, no.
all right, perhaps I'll lash myself to a tree or something.
Good guy.
Xander, let's just say there were no chances you could have been cold last night.
I was very noticeably warm actually.
Well, body puts off quite a bit of heat, I mean, we're all mini furnaces, so
Right.
anyways,
Not all of us, but it's all right. Not everybody's
furnaces,
used
freezes, it's
to not sleeping in a bed. Folk
Yeah.
can get restless when out on the forest floor.
what's funny about that is he has a bedroll. It's like fancy poofy bedroll that's like nice, and lays it on the ground and cleans it off in the morning. But it wasn't just him that was moving. He was like almost like in a zipped up sleeping bag, kind of like rolling over to Xander throughout the night. Just the whole thing moved with him.
Like doing like the fishing move on the dance floor where you reel someone in.
And someone's like moving, doing like just slowly over the course of 8 hours. All right, so you guys enjoy your breakfast. You want to use some of your meat as part of your breakfast? That's great.
And I do have to say, every long rest I can make 2. They call them treats with the chef feet that gives the people who eat them 2 temp HP. So
Nice.
I take one. Who wants the other one?
Duke.
I will take it.
All right. 2 extra temp HP.
Protect the healer. Protect the guy who goes down all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Probably tonight. So, as you guys all kind of mount up and get onto your various mounts and getting ready to go, Zanladir kind of comes over to each of you, kind of pulls everybody together and pulls out a map and shows it to you. It's not a map of the South Hold. It is a map of your intended destination. It is a probably at least 100-year-old parchment that he's unfurled that shows a diagram and shows that the ruins you're going to, or at least the location, was once a museum called the Rising Requiem, and it's a layout of the building. And you see here, this is where the entrance is or was. During one of the apocalypses, there's in history, it talks about how there's like mountains rising up where there were none before, and others being driven into the ground, and valleys and rivers springing up from seemingly nowhere, and magic went all over the place. The reason I'm telling you this is that, it's possible that this is inaccurate. It will help us in traversing it. I know that where its location is, but I haven't actually been into it per se, and all I wanted you to know is that you can use this once we get inside, but it's not. I'm assuming that part of it's been destroyed, or there's been an upheaval. But I have been doing some research, and my research has led me to this location as being the destination or the location of a particular piece of something that is going to help us with this new traveling system, which we'll hopefully be able to share. Anyways, that's all I had for my engagement and suggestions. I guess we're mounting up, and unless you guys wanted to further engage with that, we can go ahead and carry on to this next day's travel, which requires a 2d10 roll. Who rolled last time?
I don't know. I think
It
so.
was not me.
I thought it was me.
We can have
Okay.
yeah. We had 2 people roll 1d10.
You could do that.
Teamwork.
Let's spread the love, guys.
I'll do 1
But
because I didn't roll any of the.
In
gonna go
spreading that love, I would like to roll 1.
Move Thrall into the next hex grid that's here. So it's a 4 from Razir.
10 for me.
14.
So 14.
I don't know why it didn't show.
Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't show though.
Log, but yeah.
Less than an hour into your day's travel, it begins to rain. Which I need to go ahead and change. The wind begins to pick up slightly as the rain is kind of pitter-pattering on the various leaves that are here, causing there to be certain sections of muddy ground, although covered with many leaves and signs of many fallen, rotted trees that are about. You do happen to see a few frogs here and there that are just in the forest, I guess. The reason I'm bringing up like these bits of wildlife is that for the most part, even out in the forest or really anywhere, wildlife tries to avoid everything. Like they've evolved to a point where they know that there's really big bad things out there that want to eat them all the time. So the fact that you even see anything, including those crows, from the evening or from the nighttime, is kind of an oddity. So any bits of left behind traces of animals being here is interesting, to say the least. At a certain point, probably an hour or two later, the rain starts to absolutely shower everything. Everybody's getting soaked at this point. Xanladir has his cloak pulled up over his head. The wind is kind of whipping through. A random sudden storm has just kind of blown over the South Holt and seems to be making its way in a northwestern direction. From somewhere. You're not sure where. As you're traversing the terrain and kind of making some headway, it seems as though things are slowing down.
As we're riding, I'm just gonna ride up alongside Gade. Hey, Freckles, your pup smell too bad there in the rain?
And so, right now, Thrall's just kind of like with her hair, because this is the equivalent of taking a shower while you're on the road, right? And I'd be like, what? Like any other dog. Smells.
I'm gonna look at Xanladir, see how he's doing on there.
He's just literally just like this on the back. You can't even see him. He's got his cloak pulled up, hearing the conversation. Are we slowing down?
as comparison to Xanderleader, who's all hooked up, and because he's new to the road, and then Thrall, who's well traveled, is like spreading out and trying to clean things off with the rain. Like, what do you mean slowing down? We're going fine. Don't worry about it.
Trail gets a little rougher, and the horses will have to take a little bit slower, so it'll take us a bit longer today, but shouldn't be too bad unless it gets even worse.
See, this is why you need something with feet rather than hooves.
Good point.
As you say that, there
Excellent.
is a massive bolt of blue lightning that just strikes the ground, like maybe 10 feet in front of where the group is, hits a tree, it starts to come down in the direction of the party as you're, well, I shouldn't say that. It's probably about 80 feet off as you're kind of riding through this, and it's a pretty large tree. It looks like it's heading in your direction. I would like everyone to roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
I have a question before I do this.
Okay.
In theory, only in theory, of course, how would Rhymes binding ice keep this tree in place?
No.
Well, I think it has to be a creature that you're targeting.
It's just in a cone.
Oh, okay.
And it says on a failed save, a creature takes 3d8. But what's the difference, right? All right. Here we go. Roll the dice. Roll. I don't know what's going on right now.
You rolled 4 times now.
It isn't showing anything on my.
It's shown for
5
us.
times.
There's 5 rolls.
Oh
Asian
wow.
fishing for that nat 20. Yeah, it's also showing up in the
Okay.
chat log. Nope, that time it didn't. It's showing up
Okay.
there now. Yeah, it's being weird for you.
I will say that your casting of Rhymes Binding Ice, which would you like to do that? To
No, I'm
attempt
not
something with
doing
this?
it.
No? Okay.
I won't. I don't know what we're gonna run into.
So the
today.
first your first roll was a 9, and Duke also rolled a 9.
Yeah, I can't roll to save my life.
Okay.
Literally.
So as it's coming down, there's just like you guys like. It shouldn't be that hard to move out of the way of a tree that's falling like that. You see it falling. You should be able to move out of the way. But who's riding? Duke, you're riding with or who's Xander riding with? With Louise, right? On one of the
Louise.
horses. Okay. And then Duke
But-
is.
Wouldn't we have enough horses so all of us are solo except for Terrell and Xanadier right now?
You bought 3
We wouldn't take-
horses.
We
bought
bought
2 horses.
We already had one.
But
Oh,
that
right.
one was not
Before-
a riding horse,
Yeah, it was.
so we left that one
back
behind.
Oh, we left it behind. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So we brought it.
So
with
Duke
us.
is on his own. I mean, I know that Brazier and Thrall are on their own mounts, but it's, or I should say, Thrall's with Xanlander's riding on the back. But
Yeah, I think it's the brothers together
Oh,
on the
gotcha. Okay.
horse.
So, so that the tree comes down and you guys try to get out of the way. Duke's horse just kind of like sidesteps, slips in the mud, and like bangs up against one of the tree as it comes down and clips the left side of your shoulder. Right as Louise, who's paid attention, manages to swing the horse to the left to avoid the tree, but didn't realize that the back end of the horse didn't actually move enough out of the way, and it literally like scrapes the back of Xander, who's on the back of the horse. You both take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as it comes down and impacts. Doesn't do a whole lot, but it's
Duke didn't actually
There goes
take
my
any
10
damage.
HP.
Yeah, 10 HP.
I was really about to use. I thought we were gonna get slowed up or something. I was gonna use one of my time things, but I'm glad I didn't.
well, some things out here are very dangerous and some things aren't. Who knows? As you get towards the end of the day, the rain does start to subside or end entirely, depending on how you look at it, based on the sounds that I had. But yeah, you've made it through. I will say that the weather that was here has actually cost we're gonna call it an extra day of travel on this because of it slowing everything down, difficult terrain, the amount of wind, not being able to see things. I'm gonna ask for a survival check to find camping for tonight, and also I want to. Well, excuse me, pay attention. Let's get a survival roll to make sure that you're still headed in the right direction.
I forgot about this when I did the early roll, but the map that one of the farmers gave to me, you said gives me +1 to survival check, but specifically to navigate, right?
The South Holt, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's
it
correct.
doesn't apply to this. Right.
No, that's exactly what this would apply to.
Oh yeah, all right. So it's +7 instead of +6.
So I'll help you,
We're gonna
and we'll
yeah.
get guidance from Duke.
Except for that.
It's
Guidance.
So it's
yeah,
11.
okay.
Oh, that's
11 total. Okay.
Yeah.
After the storm has mostly subsided and the thunder kind of rains off in the distance as the storm has subsided mostly, the forest has been sundered by this storm, and it seems difficult to find your bearings, but you do feel somewhat confident that you can continue on your journey the following day as the sun has begun to set. At this point, you're kind of now looking around for a place to settle down for the evening. Unfortunately, you guys didn't roll any major encounter for this particular day, so we are at the end of the day. And so for this, I'm going to ask for a survival check. This actually does play into the mechanics. This is going to be for finding a reasonable spot to bed down. You can get somebody who can give him an advantage if you want. Just a bunch of dice rolls, basically. Did anybody roll besides Louise? No?
I'm not.
Okay. Or
Whoa,
just
look at me go. Wee.
a little better. Okay. This time you find what looks to be like a tree that's come down, and all the branches are kind of like hanging over a small crevasse that's off to the side of where you guys are looking at right now, up against a big boulder, and it's creating like this canopy that's there. Everything is still dripping, sopping wet. There's like a little river that's running through the spot that looks kind of closed in. I'm assuming you guys dig another pit for your fire, or at least you try to.
Dry firewood.
Yeah. So you even digging down, it's just filling with water. There's just water everywhere coming down off the trees.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd even bother trying.
Okay. So you guys set up fireless camp for the evening on your second
day. If it's not working, then I would go ahead and try burning hands that ignites any flammable objects in the area that aren't being warmed. I'm just
okay.
Throwing it out there. I'd try it. Yeah,
so I mean, with arcane means, I feel like you have.
These are divine, right?
Yeah, it's a typically arcane.
Burning hands is actual fire. It's arcane fire, but it's not radiant.
It's divine. It's divine fire.
Divine. It's fire.
These are the gods.
It's fire. Okay. All right. So you eventually torch the spot until it's black and charred, and everything around it is kind of dried up around, and you find a couple pieces of firewood, and you get a very, very meager fire that maybe you can cook something over, and then if you want to spend more additional time kind of getting more going, you could, but it's time consuming, drying out the wood just to then put it over and get some embers. So you get a little bit of something going on for some warmth. But everybody's sopping wet. Everybody's cold. We're going into this third night of sleeping. Who's taking first watch? Duke and Razir.
I had a shrimp in my mouth. I'm sorry.
You took first watch last time. You're taking it again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. Okay.
The support of the
12.
light as it dies, I keep my eyes open.
Somebody roll a d20.
Ooh, nice. Maybe
Everybody's rolling.
nice. I don't know.
Everybody's rolling.
Is it really nice?
A nat 20.
We
on
don't know.
this. Okay. Yeah, you don't know. All right.
It's a dragon.
And just before, I don't know if there's going to be any combat, but like I said last week, when we start taking a long rest, I use all my spell slots for good berries. So just so we're
Broken.
That's good to know.
It's dangerous because then if we get woken up, got no spell
Yeah.
slots.
but we have 30 HP.
You said
It's
30
I have-
HP?
Yeah, because I have 3 spell slots, and it's
Does it take an
10
action?
berries. 10 berries per spell slot.
It wouldn't be quick health.
Yeah, because you need to use an action to eat 1 berry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're not. We'd have to figure out what that ruling on force feeding somebody else a berry. I think that only works with potions. I don't think that's a. I think we've already used it once this campaign to get somebody back up.
Yeah, we did with the giant monster with like the tentacles.
Yeah.
I first led the Duke one, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna work that way. I don't
Yeah, it's all
think
right.
that doesn't make any sense to me. So
You
that
chew it
one
up
time.
and then spit it into my mouth.
Oh,
Like a mother
Yeah,
bird.
just like a bird. I
That-
just shoot it up.
Yeah, but that sounds like it could be an action.
wow, you guys are gross. Okay,
Are
So,
you comfortable
Duke-
right now, Tim?
Duke and Razier go through their first watch without issue. With a 10. I mean, hard to tell with all the dripping if like off of all the trees are still just there's so many leaves, there's so much noise throughout here. There might be something up in the trees. I'm sure you're probably keeping an eye out for crows at this point, as anybody would be from last night. Currently, it doesn't look like there's any, from what you can tell. So, the first watch comes and goes. No issues or problems. Just a little chilly. Not really quite warm enough. Duke, who you waking up? Or who's taking next watch?
I wake up Xander.
And has Zanlidir drifted suspiciously towards me?
In the last couple of hours, I mean, it looks like maybe he's moved a foot.
A foot?
He's moved about a foot, yeah.
It's like 2 rollovers.
That's
No,
Yeah.
not it.
what?
It's half a rollover.
It's just kind of a little scoot.
All right.
Cold.
Huh? Okay. I'll go on.
Duke's busy having a conversation with somebody else, so.
He's busy watching a movie. It's
I'm not
fine.
watching anything or talking.
It's
What are you
fine.
talking about? You were
I'm
clearly
eating.
talking to someone just now.
I got love feet.
All right, perception check
Whatever, nerd.
Yeah.
with
It goes
advantage,
over.
right?
I mean, Razier's giving you advantage?
Yes.
Is that what's happening? Okay.
Oh, okay, sure.
Oh.
I said yes before that went through.
No. Okay, not one for perception of Razier. So not advantage for Xander.
Oh, okay. So then whichever one comes up first.
I have to
What?
pee real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I don't
Why
know.
are your rolls not coming through? It's weird.
I don't know.
11.
They come through on
So 14 is your
beyond.
first
So
one.
14.
Yeah. Sometimes
14 's
it's
the
coming
first
through
one?
on the
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody roll a
BGG,
d20.
sometimes it's just in the thing.
Every watch. The first one to come through was Louise's.
Oh, brother.
Gotta be faster, Donnie.
Okay. Somebody roll a d6 for me.
Oh god. Oh god. We haven't gotten to this stage yet.
It's you! Oh no!
What is this stage?
No, it was the first one to come through, which was Thrall's. Okay.
Eric, what the heck?
What?
You got a 1 and a 1.
Yeah,
2
well,
separate things.
It's the crows!
The crows.
So
Taking my
Razir,
numbers.
who's like really, I don't know, trying to watch out for these crows, looking up into the, I don't know, you can make up your own reason for why you rolled in that one and why you don't see anything necessarily. But Xander, as you're kind of staring out and doing your normal watch, probably having a conversation with Razir at this point about something, you do happen to hear a couple of loud snaps of some, like a branch or something a little ways off in the dark. How far is your, was it double sight or true sight, whatever it is?
120 feet.
120 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. There's something large moving out in the forest, kind of like climbs down a tree, gets down to the base of it, probably about 100 feet from where you are, rubs itself up against a tree, and then starts like sniffing around. You can't quite make out its features exactly because it's dark and there's just stuff coming down from the trees and everything, but it's pretty big. It's pretty big. Looks like it's got maybe some kind of pointed ears a little bit that are kind of back a little. Kind of looks maybe like a bear. Its form is kind of that way. Starts like bonking its nose against something and then kind of like looks up and you see the, like, just a tiny bit of moonlight coming down kind of shines on these white translucent eyes that are just kind of like look directly at you and make eye contact with you. And then it just turns its body in the direction of the camp and just slowly starts pawing forward one after the other, gets to about
Everyone up,
60
everyone
feet,
up.
50
Everyone
feet.
up, everyone up.
As you start saying that, you
Oh.
hear rustling in the bushes as two other of these creatures start running in from the sides towards the camp that you're at right now. Before everybody rolls initiative, because you were screaming before they got there, so I will say that everybody gets to be awake for this. I actually have to pull in a map real quick. We're going to change the... this is the true... We'll use this one. Can you guys see the map?
Nope, it's completely black.
Okay.
Probably need our tokens on it or something.
You do, but I think lighting has it set to vision.
Oh, look at
Let's
that.
see. It's the woods.
This is obviously not an exact accurate representation of where you're staying for the night, but this is what we will use as our... Pretend we're at home, and I don't have an exact representation of what the map is supposed to look like. I'm going to unpause the game. You guys can put yourselves... I'll say I envisioned Razir was kind of like over here. Xander's like next to him, looking out into the woods to the northwest here. Where's Thrall? There's Thrall.
And Gade.
Gade.
Oh, rat.
Right now it's a bird. Mine.
It's a
Just
bird?
put the bear token. Yeah, because the bear is too slow to keep up with the horses, so it's a bird. It
Gotcha.
just, yeah, and I don't have the control of either of my tokens.
You don't?
Yeah.
Neither do I. Oh, wait.
Oh wait, no, I'm just stupid. I had it
There.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So did I.
Yeah, on the journal.
Yep. Exactly the same
And
thing. Yep.
for the first time,
Who's
Dan
that?
Ladeer.
No, he should take a
Oh.
watch at some point.
Wait.
You didn't ask him to.
You really want to trust him with that?
I'm
You're
not
there.
trusting the guy with a watch.
But he's already got a watch.
I knew it was coming. Shut up.
Right.
Right?
That was loud. That was very loud, whatever that was. Okay, so there is one here.
What the frick is that?
And
Is this an
one
owl
here,
bear?
and
It's a
one over here.
GD owlbear.
Oh, God.
Probably not quite that close.
They're friendly, right?
Yeah, I'd have been blasting this thing way before it got within 50 feet.
If only
I mean, he
you
didn't start. He literally. Xander didn't say anything until it was about 50 feet from the camp. Xander was literally staring out of the camp looking at this thing. You rolled a nat 1 on your perception check, so everybody can click on their tokens and can hit roll initiative.
Oh,
What
yeah.
are my rolls tonight?
Oh, yeah.
It's not coming through.
It did.
Oh,
On
wow.
our side.
Yeah, you see it.
Oh, guys,
Is-
it's over for me.
Is Anders still? What is that? Condition. Exhaustion. You still exhausted?
No, I'm
Shouldn't be.
free now.
Oh, it's because you have the condition on the roll plan.
I removed it on Foundry.
No, Forge, sorry, not yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Xander screams out. Everybody wakes up. You barely have, so just RP that bit as your turn starts that you, except for Razir, who's awake and turns and sees these things charging in. Everybody else is just now awake. And funny enough, Razir is at the top of the round.
Is the map just gray squares for everyone else, or?
It's a reload.
Okay.
If you're shooting it, shoot it.
What are you doing?
Pew, 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 pew. We're gonna... How spicy do I want to get here? Yeah, no, let's just bonus action, Form of Dread, go time right away. That is 8 temporary HP for me
Nice.
as I get all spooky looking. And then I'm gonna shoot it with my...
Shoot it.
Can I have advantage? Don't need it. Don't need it.
Of course you rolled a nat 20. That's great.
I did. Which gives it... Mouse, cooperate, please.
No.
It shouldn't be rolling like that. Add 1 to that. 28 force damage.
Wow.
28 force damage?
No.
You mean 19?
Wait, what? What happened? What just happened?
Like, you've got 13
oh,
plus
it's
10.
not doing the thing for whatever reason. 7. No, that's 7 plus 6. Right, so that's 13. That should be a 10 instead of a 9. I don't know why it's doing that. I'll check that in a second. So
So
it's
20.
23.
That's a lot of damage.
23.
That's
Yes.
That's like a lot of damage. Why are you doing crit, obviously.
Yeah.
So it would have been 13 points of damage. Gotcha. Okay. So you,
Oh, the 20. I'm sorry, the 20. That was my roll to hit. I don't know why it showed up late. Anyways, yeah, 23 force damage on.
it's the top
and,
left one you're looking for, right?
Yeah, the first one I saw. And if it could make a wisdom save, please. As long as it's not immune to the frightened condition.
That is a total of 7.
It is now scared of me.
Nice. So as it's like like running through the forest as Xander, you just fire off. It takes it like right in the throat and just like kind of like tries to do some type of scream, and then like eyes bug out of its head and it looks in your direction, and then it kind of squints really hard and starts to like stop and pace in place and try to see if it can figure out a way around you.
It is scared of me until the end of my next turn.
End of your next turn.
Yep. And with that, I am going to, in fact, step towards it a little bit. About there.
Gotcha.
And boop, enter.
All right. Thin White Duke, you're up.
Do I have to get up, or am I already standing?
You are prone.
Biscuits. All right, I'm going to stand up, and that'll take half my movement.
Mhm.
And then as I look around and see these things, I'm going to put my palms together, and the halo emits from my head, and then I move them outward, and it jumps away from me. And then a halo rings around Razir, Threll, and myself as I cast Bless on
Nice.
Nice. That's great. Are you adding your own? Yes, you are.
them. And I'm
Where
gonna
is that
adult.
condition?
Top roll.
Oh, there it is.
Alphabetical order.
They are alphabetical order.
They are alphabetical order.
They are alphabetical.
Are they alphabetical from left to right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
You know, the way that we read.
you know what?
Weird.
That's not the way we read lists, though, Eric.
Why not?
I don't know.
Because not.
Lists go top
Okay.
down.
That's how
No.
I
Right,
think.
but it's a 4-column list.
Rush up towards this one.
Okay.
And I will, as I get up to it, I'm going to go ahead and spend a key point, and I will take a defensive stance, patient defense.
Gotcha. That's disadvantage on
Bonus
attacks
action.
against you, right?
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Guys
that
are getting-
will be
Getting efficient over here. Louise, you're up.
I'll get up and to take my staff and my shield, because I'm not gonna put on my armor. It would take too long. Is it a free action, bonus action?
To
Take my staff and my shield. Sorry.
we could say that you slept with him right there with you, so you just pick him up, get up,
All right.
get into fighting position.
And I'll bonus action Shillelagh. So I have that, and I'll 15 feet of movement
That's a
left.
cantrip, right?
Yeah, cantrip. Yeah, I can't get to. Can I get to? Yeah, I'll move up over here. 15, and as my bonus action, it's bird right now. It's gonna fly up and try.
It's a flying bear.
Yeah, it's a flying bear right now, and move over here because when it's a bird, it has 60 feet of fly speed.
Okay.
So fly over here, attack this owl bear. So fly over here, and then fly out because it has flyby, so it doesn't provoke attack of opportunity.
Didn't you Shillelagh as a bonus action?
That is true. Yeah, that is true. But no, I can move it, but it can't attack. So
It can
it's
still
gonna-
move.
Yeah, it can still move, and it's going to take the dodge action just in case and fly up. There you go.
How high up is
That's
it going to fly above this thing?
It flew already. It was right over here, so 30 feet. Let's
So-
say 15, 20 feet up.
20 feet up?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Is that on your turn?
Yeah.
All right. These guys are getting into position. Thrall, you're up.
I am standing up and using the rest of my movement to sit on Gade. And then. Let's see. Select. And I'm gonna go. Boop, boop, boop. Gade's gonna run over to here.
Okay.
That's within 30
Is
feet.
it-
And I'm
It's half your movement to mount it. I forget mounted.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
yeah, all of
And
my
it-
movement.
Oh man, this is the first time Gate is being
Gate's
used in
around.
a team battle for this. This
Yeah.
is cool.
And then I'm gonna shoot an arrow down at this owlbear.
Okay. Do it up.
Flip.
Oh man,
Whip.
25 definitely hits.
I'm going. Here's the damage from the bow, and I'm going to use Sonic Strike as well for an additional 4 points force damage.
So 15 damage. Okay.
Turnover.
So Razir's off on one side. Duke quickly says a little prayer and does his little hand motion, runs up to it. Louise is trying to get there. Gets up. He's
Yeah.
like flustered. Sends his bear, flying bear,
Bear bird.
over. Bear bird.
Bird.
Bear. Over, and then starts charging towards one of them, and Thrall just literally gets up from the ground. Wait a second. Didn't you use half your movement to stand up?
Yeah, and he used the other half.
And you were
Getting-
adjacent to. You literally
Yeah.
got up from sleeping, jumped on the back of Gade.
Sleep, leaning against Gade.
Right. I would say Gade
He-
probably would have had to use half of his movement to get up, but he didn't.
Have you
move
ever
very
seen
far.
a dog get up? It requires 0 movement. They can go from
Non-
prone
D&D.
to sprint in a millisecond. Get out of here.
Well, he didn't move very far anyways. I wasn't going to call it into question. I was just trying to get a description of getting up, oh, taking out the bow, shooting up at this owlbear. Now it's the owlbear's turn. Who Duke is right here, who ran up to it. He doesn't know anything about patient defense. He's an owlbear. He's going to go ahead and take some attacks on you. First one's going to come in with a claw swipe against Duke. That's going to be a 21 to hit. Wait, hold on a
Yeah,
second.
with
Wait.
disadvantage?
That's not
With
disadvantage. No.
Okay, I was gonna say. Woof.
Nope, 14 to hit. 14 to hit.
That misses.
Okay. Runs up, goes to hit you, and you're just like, out of the way. Move the paw aside. Second one is...
Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Wax off.
Oh, brother. What is this? Why did it do that? Second attack with the beak comes in to, chomp on you. It's a 12 to hit. So you're just kind of,
Misses.
bobbing and weaving. And it just, angrily, stomps the ground and tears up a bunch of the leaves and takes, a couple of twigs and throws them off into the woods, trying to hit you, but it can't do it. Xander, you're up.
All right. So
These things are really big, by the way.
I would like to, if possible, would you allow me to roll
Probably not.
a bonus action history check just to see if I know what owlbears like or dislike and their general behavior? If I've read anything about owlbears in my studies, is that
What they like or dislike? You mean what their weaknesses are? Is that what you're trying to determine?
no, what they like or dislike or their behaviors?
Food preferences or something.
Time to be friends with owlbears.
See if you've read about owlbears. Sure. Go ahead and make a history check.
It's not coming up. What is it?
Woo!
A 26.
Nice. I'll take that.
Okay.
Mine's going a mile a minute. I'm just like, what do I know? What do I know? What do I know?
I mean, they eat creatures that are woodland creatures. They're out in the wild that are here.
Here, I'll
and
ask
they're-
this. In owlbear culture, is there typically an alpha?
No.
No? Okay.
Correct.
So here's what I'll do then. I'm gonna cast Phantasmal Force on this owlbear down in the corner here. In the bottom left.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a 10-foot cube in front of him. So I'm gonna cast a significantly larger owlbear in front of it, and the owlbear is I'm gonna make it look like the owlbear is attacking it. So this owlbear needs to succeed on a intelligence check, intelligence saving throw.
-3 is what it rolled. Apparently, it has a -4 to intelligence saving throws.
Awesome.
Rolled a
So
nat one
it-
for a -3,
so it
Excellent.
bites super hard on this.
Okay. and it takes
so-
1d4 damage or something.
Well, no, not as of now. I don't believe. Hold on. Each round on your turn, the phantasm can deal 1d6 psychic damage to the target if it is in the phantasm's area or within 5 feet of the phantasm. So would you count that this turn or next turn? Here, let me.
It says a
let me
phantasm
put
created
that.
to appear as a creature can attack the target. Similarly, a phantasm created to appear as fire, a pool of acid, or lava can burn the target. Each round on your turn, I would say it would take the damage now.
Okay, so it takes 6
Sure.
psychic damage as this other, much larger owlbear goes in and swipes at it, at its face, and it's just. I'm basically trying to play distractor while everybody else gets set up right now.
Gotcha. I mean, everybody's pretty much, except for Louise.
But
Everybody's pretty.
I don't know what you
This'll-
mean.
This will stand.
He's set up. He's just not close enough.
This will stand as long as I have concentration. So, or if it uses its action to pass an investigation check, which I suspect it won't. So,
How inquisitive is this owlbear?
that's the end of my turn.
Hold on a second. I forgot to add,
Vanalgear.
Um,
Spellcaster Mage, level 4.
why does it show the name?
there's my owlbear.
I rolled a nat 1 for his initiative. Nice. Okay, so it like appears, and I think nobody else can see it except for this other owlbear. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's
That's what it
just
says.
it's just this owlbear.
so it's like
Get
trying to
out.
like get back. There's a bear that's there. Or no, it's not a bear. There's a bird up above that's like ready to come, swoop down and attack this thing, and a giant one appears in front of it, and it's just like trying to get away from it, and it's taking the damage. Yeah, ending your turn. It is. Does that end your turn?
Owlbear.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn. I already
Because
ended
this
it.
owlbear has to act as though that thing is. What does this
Yep.
thing have?
It has to act as if this thing is attacking it. And the best part is it doesn't take damage. So we're live.
Okay. So it swings out at it and tries to like jump to bite at it, and then starts
No, it-
moving.
It feels it, yeah. It
I mean-
physically feels like it's biting into another owlbear right now.
Yeah. That's crazy. What was this say? The target can use its action to examine the phantasm with an intelligence check against your spell save DC. If the check succeeds, the target realizes the phantasm is an illusion and the spell ends. This guy's just lashing out and trying to attack this thing. It does, however, run in this direction because it's like 10 times the size of this owlbear. It's just running off into the woods to try and group up with the other one. This guy is afraid of Razir.
Why not move closer to me?
You'd see it turn around and start moving in this direction. And then runs away from the camp. That's what it's doing. Zanladir, whose turn it is. Yep. You see him like look over towards Xander and just kind of nods at Xander slightly as his hands kind of coalesce in this ball of fire, which he then fires it off towards this owlbear over here.
So he's not just a loser.
He's not completely useless.
Wow. Actually dealt 8 points of damage to this thing.
All right.
Hooray.
There it is. Impacts it, kind of streaks. You watch it like streak through the forest and almost impact with a tree. And he's like, just kind of like breathing heavily. Razir's turn, top of the round.
All right. I'm going to.
Are you pursuing the one that ran away?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to turn to this other one. It's over here. And cast Hex.
The one on the
On
left
it.
of the map?
Yep.
Okay.
And we're going to choose Strength. No. We're going to choose Strength. Sure. Yeah,
Strength. Okay.
And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast it.
Sweet.
Boom shakalaka. 22 to hit.
22 hits.
Cool. He takes that much damage. And that much damage. And that's it.
Wisdom save, right?
And a wisdom save. So that was 11 force, 3 necrotic.
Yep. It rolled a total of 4. First wisdom
And
save.
he's afraid of me.
We're steamrolling these things.
Yeah,
dude.
this is
I
ridiculous.
almost stepped down over here.
Yep. Okay. So you hit it. It's like almost like falls to the ground from the firebolt that just hit it, and then all the shadows around the space and a lot of the raindrops kind of coalesce into this weird like black mist that kind of swirls around it, collects around its feathery fur exterior, and it is not looking so great. Ending your turn, Duke.
Yes.
All right, so standing in front of this thing, I'm gonna pull my short sword, and I'm gonna go for an upward slice with my blade.
Okay.
Crash.
8 does not hit, unfortunately.
Blessed.
Oh, I'm blessed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you are?
Plus,
Actually, a 12. Maybe.
maybe. Ooh, 11.
11 does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh, biscuits. And then I'll follow that up with a backflip kick to the jawbone.
There you go. 22 hits.
Ooh, 25. Just everyone's aware.
Okay. Where's the damage?
It's coming. I'm slow. There's a click between windows. It's 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Gotcha.
And I land in a 3-point stance, superhero mode,
Your
blade out to the side.
your short sword comes up and like hacks off a bit of like feathers and fur off the side of it, and it kind of like roars at you, and then you just do whatever your back
I
flip kick
keep
thing was. That you
spinning.
just
Upward
Sweet
slice
Kung
and
Fu.
take the momentum, yep, and I just backflip.
roundhouse this
Kick it.
thing, kick
Right.
off, 3-point landing,
Yeah.
ready to come in for the
Florence
next strike.
Pugh, Black Widow's sister style in the Marvel Universe.
Does that end your turn?
That's my turn.
Alrighty. Louise, you're up.
I'll send the bird over here to attack the bear and fly out of its range once again, 20 feet high. Do you have this roll? No,
Gotcha.
I'll just roll for the attack. Thorn Whip, but it uses my spell attack, so it's the same bonus.
25 hits.
5 hits. So 1d4 plus 3 plus my proficiency bonus. So I had 2 to that. So it's 6 points of damage. Of slashing damage, specifically.
Okay.
And
Bird comes down, kind of raking across the back of it, flies back up into the air. Are you moving the bird somewhere else?
no, it just stays up in the air above the owl bear.
20 feet. Okay.
Yeah, that's been shit. I just got sorry. So 35. If I'm up here, I'll use Shillelagh. No, Thorn Whip. Sorry, and try and attack the bear.
Nice. Does Storm Whip bring them closer?
It does
If he wants to.
because I didn't have the speed to actually get to the bear,
Okay.
and
13,
I'm gonna
19
try and
hits.
bring closer. Yeah. So it's 1d6 damage. Roll of 1. Oh, but I'll use my favorite foe on the bear, so now I'm concentrating on that. So an extra d4, so 4 points of slashing damage.
Okay. So you're trying to pull it closer to you or no?
Yeah. Yeah,
Does that work on
automatically. Yeah, it's
don't
large
have
or
to.
smaller.
Oh, larger, smaller?
No,
It's up to 10
want it.
feet.
Yeah.
You want to?
Yeah, I want to.
Okay. Wraps around one of its legs and it gets dragged across the ground in your direction. It's like looking hurt, really hurt, wounded. It's not happy. It's bleeding. It's like
And it's
looking.
scared.
It's covered in just black, foggy mist.
Would you
thing,
say
and
it's badly injured?
Yes, I would. Ending your turn, I believe.
Yeah.
Thrall, you're up.
Ew. There's me. Right. Whatever.
Who keeps checking the movement distance of the owlbear? Somebody does. Is that you, Felix?
No.
Checking
Yeah,
the
I'm
distance.
orange.
That's,
From
it's,
the
it's
It's
Donnie just
Donnie.
measuring from
Yeah,
the
it's
back.
Donnie. It just looks like it's coming for the owlbear.
Anywho, so I will scoot down here and fire some arrows over at the same owlbear.
Okay.
So flip. Oh, that one's not gonna hit.
It doesn't.
But
D4, D4.
You're blessed.
Get out of
Oh,
here.
oh,
Oh, I did it 11. Oh, okay. Actually, that might be possible.
yeah, especially with a 4.
15 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're welcome, says the gods. You know what I'm saying?
bless,
So
baby,
here
it's so good.
comes, arrow plus a psionic strike.
You and your psionic strike.
Yeah, I did that much damage. I'm going to.
I
then,
did that much damage.
I'm going to activate action surge and fire again.
Okay. Yep. You have a +8?
Apparently,
Okay.
I'm going to use my feat ability to re-roll that damage. There we go. That's better. For
The plus-
8 additional.
Is that rerolling damage once per combat or once per turn?
Once per turn.
Is this from Piercer feat? Because if it is, it's once per turn.
That's
If you're wielding a weapon that
heck
deals
is feet?
piercing
There's
damage.
once per turn.
Yes, once per turn.
Okay.
You can re-roll the piercing damage from an attack. On a
Sweet.
critical, you can roll an additional damage die.
Which is just an additional 8 because we do max damage.
turn done.
By secrets.
I can only do the psionic thing once a turn, right?
Well, we maxed
Yeah.
the crit damage, so you're saying that crit damage would be maxed?
It's extra crit. It's an extra crit die.
Crit, right, it is. Okay. Yeah.
Let's not get you-
So
Um,
a barbarian that crits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what?
Don't help
Owlbear's
Duke.
he's gonna go on Duke right now. He's just gonna.
I mean, he doesn't have to. Just saying.
Yeah, no, he's going to.
My gosh, darn.
Yep.
I mean,
All
Thrall
right.
did just shoot him with a couple arrows. One of which hurt his brain really bad.
Real bad.
That's true. That's
It
true.
was force damage, so it impacted very hard.
Force or psychic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, he's going for Duke.
We tried, champ.
You didn't use
Yeah.
patient defense, did you? Okay, it's a 20
No,
to
not
hit
this time.
on the first
Yeah,
one.
that'll do it.
13 points of slashing damage,
Ow.
Fine.
and then he's gonna come in with the bite attack with the beak. That's gonna be a 20 to hit.
I'm gonna do warding flare.
Okay,
Getting disadvantage.
disadvantage. 15 to hit.
No.
Oh wow. Okay. So it just comes in, hits you across the chest, just tearing you open, and he goes to bite you, and you just like put one hand on your head and one hand upwards, and the beak just like tries to clamp around your outstretched hand, and for some reason it doesn't.
A bright light flares in front of his eyes, pulls away at the mist.
There you go. Okay. Xander, you're up.
Okay, so the first thing that happens before I ask my next question, the owlbear moves towards the other owlbear, because I made the illusion to be like it's a moving illusion and chasing it, so it'll definitely move towards it and it'll take that damage without an action, so it's pretty crazy.
Just 1d6 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 points of psychic damage. Yep. Now, to make sure I'm understanding this right, if I cast a spell of first level or lower, I can cast a cantrip as a bonus action?
No, it's if you use a bonus action to cast a spell, you can only use your
A level
action
spell.
to use a cantrip.
So,
Isn't that the same thing as what he just said?
No, it's the other way around.
Bonus action to cast a leveled spell.
Yeah, you can only cast a
okay, I
cantrip
understand,
using your
I
action.
understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
If the bonus action is a cantrip, you should be good to go.
Right, okay.
My bad.
Alright, then I'm just gonna forget about that completely. And I'm just gonna cast I'm gonna look over to Duke and I'll move 5 feet this way and I'll cast a second level catapult with a pebble.
Okay.
So the owlbear is going to make a dexterity save.
That's a 7.
Great. So it takes 4d8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
Wow. Wait, what? Wow.
that was so bad. Oh,
It's,
Can you believe that you can roll 32
You shot
points
it.
of damage on that spell and I rolled a fourth of it? Okay, so it takes 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yep, it does. It's
And I just, as it like hits the side of its torso, I'm like looking at my hand. I'm like, oh, terrible aim. What is up with me?
Yep.
And that's the end of my turn.
Your turn. Okay. This one is
scared of me.
it is scared of you, and within line of sight of you has disadvantage on its attacks, I believe.
Yep.
It's gonna run. It'll take its attack of opportunity from Louise.
Finish it, champ.
No.
Oh,
Ooh.
No.
It runs away off the map. That one's gone. Next
Does the
up
other one
on
come back?
this-
It'll
No.
be like a deer that got hit by a car. It'll die in the forest.
Maybe.
yeah.
Xanladir is going to do the same thing. Let's see, what's the... Over here. Going to do his fire ability again. Tried and true. Does not hit. The fire bolt goes firing off into the forest. Off against one of the trees. Dissipates in a cloud of steam. Yeah, that's what he's got. Next up is Razir.
Let me double check something.
As you run up to him, and he's like just finished firing off and missing at this thing. I mean, it's moving around quite a bit. Everybody just woke up.
Yeah. Just get out the way.
It's been standing still this whole time.
I mean, he literally hired
okay.
you guys to bring him out here, so he's doing what he can.
I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Hex on this other bear, owlbear.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot at it. Because that's what I do.
Gonna crit it again.
I wish. 16.
16 hits.
So it takes that much damage and that much damage. 16 damage, 10 force, 6 necrotic.
How do you want to do this? That's exactly how much it had. 16 HP.
right in the face, right past Duke's shoulder. Just drop it.
It like all that darkness coalesces around it, like pulls it into the ground, holding it down as you just kind of hold out your revolver and it just dissipates into a cloud of smoke on the ground. And that ends our late night encounter. Which is awesome.
Back to sleep.
Oh man, it was just a bang, bang, bang. Made them all go away.
It was a fairly quick battle compared to what it could have been.
I will now go collect the arrows I fired.
Oh, can the dead owlbear make a wisdom save? So it can, if it's afraid of me.
Here's a legitimate question. So if I can collect half my arrows and I fired an odd number, are you rounding down or up?
We always round down
Rounding down.
for everything. Everything's rounded down.
I have a quick question. Did that owlbear on the left use its action to dash?
I mean, they both were.
So it did. So my illusion owlbear couldn't chase it down.
You assume that they are sufficiently terrified and they were scared off away from your camp. You clearly are a formidable force of heroes. This is like low level battle is what this is, because I'm trying to demonstrate that there's less dangerous things that are out there that you guys can easily fend off.
Lure us into false sense of security.
Exactly.
All right, yeah. Then I drop the concentration on my owlbear that I can't even perceive, which is a really interesting thing about Phantasmal Force.
Concentrating on keeping the spell going for whatever it.
I
produces.
dropped bless as well.
Okay. I mean, theoretically, those guys, if I was rolling better, things would have went a little bit differently. You know, it could have crit somebody for a lot of damage, but that wasn't.
He hit me for normal at 13. That was very unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could theoretically crit you for all of your health. One shot. Anyways, so everybody kind of picks themselves back up and finishes out. I think that was the second watch that happened.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
Collect yourselves back together around this little fire and under this weird rock tree on top outcropping type situation, and realize that the threat is gone. Is there any conversation that happens?
Who wants next watch?
I'll do it. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's all I have, and I'll go and tap out because I'm tired.
Gotcha. Lay down, get ready for the next day. Boy, I hope we get to the ruins tonight. I mean,
Druid has
a
already
while.
mind trail.
Depends on what we roll.
No,
Yep. We didn't really start
we'll
until
get
late.
at the entrance of the ruin. We end the night, and you say we level up to level 5.
Yeah.
He's calling it.
Yeah.
All right, roll perception. And Razir, I'm assuming.
Oof.
Oh,
Nice, dude.
man, that's the second time.
Same as last time. Yeah.
This guy.
Man, Louise is on it when it comes to camping. He is the guy you want with you.
Oh yeah.
This is a cold pizza moment.
Yeah, I haven't showed it.
Yes.
He's got the whole belt, the whole sash with the little badges from Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Big Boy Scouts. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you guys everybody's trying to go back to sleep.
Man
You're
was
just
an
kind
Eagle
of
Scout.
a little bit of snoring going on. Zanladir has replaced himself away from Xander, and just seems to be lightly snoring and kind of like absentmindedly rubbing his hands from the firebolt he had used earlier for some reason. Louise, yes, Louise, you look up into the surrounding trees around you. There are 6 crows. Nope. Yes, 6 crows that are just kind of up in a semi-circle arrangement in some trees. They're not eating anything. They're very clearly not eating anything. They are just... But they're far enough away where it's like, oh, there's a crow, and there's a crow, and there's a crow. Huh. Okay. Interesting. You can't really... They're further away than they were previously, than the other ones were previously, so it's just like there's birds up in the tree. But there's definitively 6 of them, and they're kind of just sitting there.
You know what? Didn't work last night, but I'm gonna try it tonight. Speak with animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I'm not using a spell slot. I get 1 free casting of it per day with primal awareness.
Okay. Are you yelling out into the forest? Because they're like maybe the closest one's probably 50 feet from you.
50 that much? Well, they're in the big tree over here.
You
right?
rolled a nat 20. Now forget this map is not representative
right.
of where you are. Don't forget, it's just for the battle. This is a random map that I made at some point.
I'll move closer to one of the trees and then try speaking to one of the crows.
Okay. So you move up to the closest one off to your left-hand side. What do you say to it?
Hey, are you the same crows that watched over us, I guess, last night?
Yes.
Could I ask why?
These crows don't have New York accents. I'm offended.
Hey, I'm flying here.
Sitting up in this tree, just trying to mind my own business. Why don't you buy me a hot dog? No, it's...
Hey, how about them Knicks?
Why is nobody talking like Jerry Seinfeld yet, guys? All right.
Okay. No. So you.
We're doing a different New York stereotype.
You asked the crow why it was doing that.
Yeah.
Or no. Would you mind telling me why? Is the question that you asked? Yes.
All right.
All right.
Could I insight check the crow?
What are you trying to discern?
Is it actually like following us? Like, I don't know. I'm trying inside a crow.
You can roll insight if you want.
I'll roll inside.
Are its intentions malicious?
Yeah, is it an evil crow?
Are you trying to determine if this thing is a bad guy?
Yeah.
I mean, it said 2 words to you, and it's a crow.
Yeah, I know.
There's no facial expressions. There's a little bit of countenance in a crow, kind of moving its feathers a bit. It's a crow. You're talking to a crow. The vibe, the vibe is a bunch of creepy crows up in the tree. It said it was the same crow from last night.
It's just normal crow stuff. I don't know.
Would you mind telling me why you're following us? Yes.
Wouldn't mind.
It would mind.
Yeah. Would you say why you're following if I were to give you a bit of food?
No.
At least
Me when I'm following a grown woman at 1 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I'm not actually speaking to the crows. I'm just high on shrooms right now.
Why are you following me? Yes.
God damn.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's really funny.
If I bought you McDonald's, would it make you stop following me? No.
Well, you know what? I'll just leave this food right here on the ground and have a good night. I'll go back closer to the camp.
Have a good night.
Have a good
I don't know.
to the crow.
It's the first time speaking to a crow. What do I say?
Yes.
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 No.
Okay, so you go back and you sit down. I mean, you could have asked it more questions, I guess, but that's fine. You go. It's just all it's giving you is yes or no. It's a crow.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're crows are pretty intelligent. However, you're only getting
And
yes
they're
or no
capable of
answers.
mimicry.
Intelligent. You just don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Being creepers
Maybe
up in the
they're
tree.
just in a bad mood tonight, man. Try tomorrow. We know they'll be there tomorrow. Try again tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you finish your watch without. Did you guys even roll perception? Yeah, you did. I was as your
Yeah,
nat 20 that showed you. Okay. Yeah. So the morning comes, the sun rises. It is the following day. Let's go ahead and get this going a little bit, because literally every single one of you said you wanted to get to the ruins tonight, and I don't know how that's going to happen. Like we'll see if we can do it.
You get to have a long rest, right?
How many more do we have?
Another long rest, yeah. You're now going into your 1, 2, 3, 4th day of travel, because the windy rainstorm set you back a day.
Right.
So it's going to be a total of 5 days, unless this next day is also sets you back. I don't know. But instead of, okay, you wake up, you have breakfast, you collect yourselves, you get back on your mounts, head off into the forest. Let's go ahead and roll again for the next and
I
day's
give
encounter.
Duke the temp HP.
10. Okay, gotcha.
2
2
temp
temp
HP.
HP, yep.
Got it.
Don't forget people who have
looking for a 2d10.
prepare. Yeah, 2d10, please. Yep. That's 6.
Yeah.
Yep,
Is
we're probably not getting to the ruins tonight. Okay. All right.
Which of these numbers from 2 to 20 is the dragon encounter?
You don't know. You don't know.
I don't
Even if
know.
there is a dragon encounter around here.
There's definitely
Okay,
a dragon encounter on
a
there. There's
six.
always
The
a
last
dragon
day
encounter.
of travel, it's a 6 to 20. It's dragon.
That's funny.
There will be a dragon.
Okay. There. Let me just look at this real quick. Interesting. After about 4 hours of travel on horseback and other means, you guys have mild conversation back and forth. It's just more of the same forest. Here, it's starting to thin a little bit. You can very clearly see at a certain point that there are not 6 crows, but now a total of 12 in the air that are flying as a flock and just kind of lazily drifting back and forth above the tree line. And you can only see them now more so because the trees have thinned to a certain extent. You can see bits of the sky above you, and it's not so this oppressive canopy above. I don't know if you guys are going to shoot at them or what. I mean, Louise was talking to them, but there's about a dozen flying up ahead. Just kind of keep them watch.
Definitely keep an eye on them in whatever direction they're flying over. If they're not directly above us, they're flying over something else, then watching that direction.
Okay.
Can I make a? I guess it would be a religion check, but like, are there any gods that have the raven as a symbol? That maybe like Zill or something, or would that be?
Religion is not taught in schools. You are not given any kind of
I would like
religious
to do that
background.
though.
You can.
And well, the crazy thing is, I didn't go to school.
I mean,
Are you
Right.
saying Tim
There-
didn't go to school as well?
There's
Well,
school
you
of
didn't go
hard
to traditional
knocks.
school.
okay. So
He grew up on the
maybe you
streets.
may have read about this stuff in books, but it's like so
That's fair.
few and far between. Go ahead and make a history check.
History or religion?
Oh, sure. Religion check. Sorry. Look at this guy just rolling religion. Oh, that was almost a nat 1. 26? You said is a raven. These aren't ravens. These are crows. So
Yeah. So are there any gods that have the crow as a symbol?
Yeah, that's a great question. Give me
I'm
2
sure there
seconds
is.
here. Gotta be asking me the tough questions, you know?
I'm just trying to figure out why they could be following us. Like I was thinking maybe it could be Zill, like the followers of Zill. Maybe they're like vessels or crows or something. Like I'm sure.
You've heard in one story, not even like a factual document, but that an ever increasing day by day murder of crows that continues to build up as the days progress and continue to follow a person or group of persons is typically signifies something having to do with Legion, who is one of the old gods.
Okay.
Which I think actually, even with a 14, Duke probably by this day, noticing that there's double the amount of crows there were the day before, because I don't think did Duke see the
I did see
crows
him
the first day, but there was only like one or yeah. So now you've
They've definitely
noticed
been mentioned at the end of a night. Like, hey, there's crows watching us. Hey, it's 2 nights of crows watching us. Keep it out.
Right.
Oh, hey, look, there's a flock of crows. Everybody.
Yeah, at this point. So Duke, you and Xander probably have this realization at relatively
murder,
the same
rather.
time. This is representative of Legion.
Yeah.
Okay.
These crows, they're not necessarily a bad sign, but also not a good sign.
As you're saying that, there's the sound of some large creature that's like rah, like off in the like way off in the distance in the forest. You can't see it, but you can tell the direction is like far off to the left hand side from where you are currently now. Besides this screeching sound of what sounds like maybe a giant bird of some kind, there's the clinking of metal against metal, not of like swords colliding with one another, but almost like a chain of some kind. Every minute or so, there's like a I can't do chain imitation with my mouth. It
Sounded like a chain to me.
Gets a little bit louder as you guys, I mean, you haven't stopped, so you're just continuing going forward. So it's like you're heading towards it, but you're going to be passing it not too far. You travel for another like minute or two, and you can see the sun kind of coming down on something gray and leathery looking, kind of like several hundred feet away.
So spotting that, throw.
Is it an elephant?
Well, not surprising. Hey, we should switch directions now, like right now.
All right, which way? Farther south.
North.
North is where the thing is from.
I thought that we were going west.
You're heading east.
We're going east, and it's to our left, which would be north.
Oh, right. Okay. Follow me, and then I'll click my heels against Scape and start actually running and going southwest.
Southwest?
Back away from the direction we're going.
East.
Southeast.
I get my.
He's not at his computer.
So we deter around. We detour farther south around it.
I get
He's
my
compass
east
lexic.
and wests mixed up.
Dyslexic.
Also, yes. We're going west, southwest.
South, east, southwest. Okay, so you're heading
Northwest.
You turn southeast away from the noise. Basically, you're heading almost in the opposite direction of where it is.
Give it a wide berth.
Running at advanced pace
And
for
going fast.
extended period.
Okay, so just given the opportunity to avoid what could potentially be a problem, you guys decide to. It sounds like some creature's shrieking cries for help, but you can't.
That's how they get you.
It sounds pained, so not really like it's not crying out for help, but it's like sounds upset and crying out. So yeah, you guys continue on. The noises eventually fade into the background, and we'll never know what that encounter was going to be. And as you guys continue
As
on your
we're-
way, yep.
As we're going, Freckles, you know what that was?
Nope, and I don't want to find out.
Ah, gotcha.
Actually, you're just saying you don't know what it is. Okay, I was gonna have you make a history check, but that's fine.
No, that's just the whole point of the caravan is to avoid things. If
You
there's a sound,
you
go
probably
around it.
recognize the shriek, which is why I was gonna have you make a history check. But I'm
Not
we're
gonna
gonna
think that hard about it. Just gonna leave.
okay. Progressing on for the remainder of the day, the tree foliage starts to thin a bit. It almost looks like... Actually, everybody make a perception check for me.
I forgot I can do this.
Ooh.
Guidance on Louise.
I have advantage if
18.
it is with smells. But since
Wow.
there's-
Smells
This
or
is-
hearing?
This is,
Or
not,
hearing.
this is not regarding smell or hearing.
Eric cannot catch a break tonight.
But since they're the
Yeah.
first
He was
number
hitting real hard with
13.
those Eldritch
Only in
Blast.
combat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important to me.
Gotcha. I would say mostly everybody, I guess, except for Razir. I don't know what to tell you. As you roll in that one, it's got to... Okay. But this is something that would be fairly obvious to most people, but if you're just kind of like trudging along, you've been traveling for hours, trying to just make sure you're on the path, you're probably not noticing. But there's something oddly desaturated about the colors of the foliage that's around. It's subtle at first, but as you travel on for another hour and another hour, you definitely can see Epoch's chain ahead of you. There's a huge like cloud canopy above this massive kind of brownish gray mountain range that just extends. You're still about a day's travel off from reaching, or close to it, half to 3/4 of a day to get there. So it's not like it's towering above you. You can still see it kind of on the horizon, but you can make out the coloration. But the trees around seem a little, just a little less colorful. That's about it. It's just interesting. The leaves on the ground seem a little gray. But yeah, progress through the rest of this day. We'll move on to the night. We're gonna do this. Oh, go ahead. What?
At this point, having this been the day we were expected to get to the ruins, I will use the sending stone to send a message to the mayor of, howdy. Not there yet. Weather added an extra day. Should get there tomorrow. We'll send again before we head in.
Copy that. Appreciate the update. There's been a development. We'll talk when you get back.
Oh,
Town's on fire.
I was gonna say Raiders of Nixmuna. Yeah.
Everyone's dead.
Oh,
everyone.
We're
Well,
level
obviously
5.
not the
we're
mayor.
level 7.
Everyone but the mayor. Dead.
That's
Okay.
how we unlock the
Um,
town building.
Survival check to bed down for the night. Like Louise is going
What
to
was
be the only one who ever... survival check for the bedding down for the night.
Guidance.
I will help you.
Guidance on Louise.
Guidance, I will help you.
Advantage
I do-
and
I do want to say... 25. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say, you find a very well secluded alcove of like what once was a cave that had a cave in right at the entrance of it, but there's just like a mound of rocks just out in the middle of this slightly less dense forest, where like a bunch of rabbits were making their home inside of this little alcove.
You gotta
and,
hear rabbits. It's our house now.
they're like, as you approach and it's like, oh, this is a nice place. You see like, what are you doing, Eric? There's like 3 or 4 of them just kind of like come bounding out and run off into the forest.
Gade eats them.
Is anybody going to try and shoot him? Is
No.
Cade going to try and eat him?
No.
No, leave the rabbits alone. They just kind
I think you're leaving
of
it-
scurry off. Okay. You guys bed down here. This, although a good place to sleep, you dig down a little bit to try and make a pit, and it's just rock underneath. So you'd be sheltered from, I could say, probably 3 sides of this, but it would be like almost like a hooded lantern, kind of the light would be shining out.
I mean,
If
you
you-
wouldn't necessarily want to make a fire in a cave because of the smoke anyway.
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Well, it's tapered kind of upwards, you know. It's-
Do Smith's tools have a masonry hammer?
That would be a masonry kit.
yeah, I would say no.
Well, it's called a masonry hammer, but I had one in my toolkit to work with sheet metal, so it's kind of a multi-purposed hammer.
so that's
It just
cool.
happens,
but
it
this is
happens to have
D&D.
like a point on it. Does it have like any kind of hammer with a pointy, maybe a chisel or something? I got chisels and Smith's. What's in a Smith's tool? It doesn't say. I want the
What are you
actual-
trying?
for
What are you
smithing.
trying to do? What are you trying to do?
So I can dig another rock to make the pit.
It's going to take
He's a
you
dwarf.
like a dwarf that doesn't speak dwarvish.
Whatever.
Innate blood power.
He's a caravan dwarf.
Asians are
He's
good
not
at
a,
math even when they're not,
he's not
they
a
don't
mountain
speak
dwarf.
Chinese.
He's one of those plains dwarves. They're
Plains
looked
dwarves.
down upon by the Asian mountain dwarves for
Dwarf of the
being
land.
Wait,
surface
what did
dwellers.
you look up?
Jason, you're allowed to fall asleep now. Come on.
I'm so tired, dude.
We have a whole
Okay.
hour to go. A whole hour.
Dude, you realize what time I wake up in the morning?
What time you wake up in the morning?
I'm up at 5:45.
Me
Well,
too. High five.
don't.
So cute.
Have you tried not doing that?
So
Okay, it's
I
only
will-
it's only 8 o'clock here.
and I got up even earlier this morning because the drive was further. Because I left from my girlfriend's house. So
See, that's what you get.
yeah.
What you get for having a girlfriend, fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Sorry.
Wow. Wow.
That's flipped out. That's a
Wow.
work thing. I curse a lot at work, and I call a lot of people at work nerds. I'm so sorry. It was force a habit. I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
for Freudian slip. Okay, so
My bad.
we can all laugh
I'm just
about
gonna
it.
stop talking.
Okay, if you want to try and chisel out a hole large enough to have a fire inside of with your smithing tools to carve into the rock, you can try.
It's worth a
It,
shot.
Probably not getting a long rest if you try.
Yeah.
Take hours and hours.
Well, I wouldn't. I would probably give up after about 10 minutes.
all right, I'm
no
going to ask this
progress.
question regardless of whatever the number is that's rolled. How long are you willing to spend on this?
I will spend 10 minutes to it, and if I make very little progress, I will give up.
Okay, make your roll.
What?
Okay, so a smithing tools would be used for something other than trying to carve rock. So this would not be with your proficiency bonus. This would just be I don't know, a strength
Right.
check.
Just good old strength. Sure. Wham. Right in the rock.
Okay. After 10 minutes of chiseling away, you chip down about 3 inches.
That's not worth it.
You know you could just
And
That's-
you didn't damage your tools.
All right, cool.
you could just stack rocks around the fire, make a fire pit.
Wait, I go, what? And then I turn around and see all the loose rocks, like, oh. Well, why didn't you say that 10 minutes ago?
Like a normal person makes a fire pit.
You working.
Ah, dang it. And I'll just go get some rocks and then just make a pit.
Okay. All right, set up your fire pit. All right, who's taking first watch?
I'll
Brazier.
take it.
I'm on all the watches, technically. I'm always there.
Brazier could just take the watch every night, and everybody else could just sleep.
Well,
Oh.
I mean, during my sleeping out for the 2 watches where I like sleep, where I rest, it'd be like I can watch in one direction. That's about it.
Well, we are in a cave, so watching one direction.
Oh yeah. I also got a 10.
Okay. It looks like there's more than a dozen crows that are up in the trees on the outskirts, kind of looking at the cave entrance now. And they're at varying distances. They're just kind of hopping around. It does actually look like they're eating at this point, having their dinner. Everybody's gone to bed, and you guys are hanging out and having a brief conversation. But yeah,
I forgot to
they're
mention I would have
Yeah.
taken the owlbear pelt as best I could as the third pelt I need.
Okay. Make a dexterity check for that.
Horrible.
Make the.
It's a 9.
I mean, it got blasted here and there, and the pelt was
Okay.
ruined in the process. You were not able to collect it from that.
All right. Moving on.
Yeah. So they're you notice that they've swooped down and are pecking at the ground and then swooping back up quickly, eating like a worm or like a little squirrel that was caught or something, just kind of doing their crow thing. Although, yeah. Anyways, first watch. Somebody roll a d20.
Oh,
There's my nat 20.
Yeah.
Nice.
At some point during the watch, it has to happen.
So many nat 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
The watch comes and goes. No problem.
All right. Guess I'll go wake Duke up.
Great.
Let's get these.
Biscuits.
What the heck?
Wow.
Another 10. It's look. I'm just.
Somebody roll
You're
a d20.
consistent.
Yep.
Roll d20.
What? What?
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
That sure is.
That's ridiculous. I mean, let's be honest.
If he gets, if he gets
all
another nat 20, we get a pet dragon.
So wait, we get a pet dragon. So do I change from Beastmaster to Droid Warden?
Maybe.
You are beating the odds in terms of what you're rolling for sure. I did-
Last night I had a work party and we played a dice game, and just before everybody left, we wanted to roll a series of 5 of the same number. I think it took us an hour just to get there. So, I'm using all the luck that I didn't get to use yesterday.
Wow. Yeah, I have a percentage thing set up for various things, and when you're rolling, I mean, nat 20 is always a good feeling to have, so I didn't want to have it be a bad feeling.
I
When
don't
you roll
know.
nat
I know
20.
it's
So, although we'll see what
like
happens on the
half
hex
my
scroll
rolls
when you
up
roll
in
nat 20.
20s. Crazy.
Anyways, the remainder of this is the
So,
Duke's watch. Yeah, go ahead.
So Bradass, you know much about this Legion? Or you strictly a one god kind of fella?
There are many gods. I follow one in particular, but I will not shy from worship of the whole pantheon. It's just there are specific ones for every aspect or token or part of life, and for me it is law and order and the light of the lands, keeping things the way they should be and not succumbing to chaos.
Right. So you know much about this Legion then? What's if these are his I don't know, heralds or whatever or something, or if
There is
what do we got to
there
be
is much
looking
with
out
him.
for?
It is apparent in the land around here with the what is it? The wilting or the decay of the land. You know, he is the eyes, he is the many, he is death everywhere. So if his crows are watching us, then it is to be assumed that there is something with great power perhaps following us or waiting for us, or he has some stake in the lands around here. Perhaps this museum will hold more than we expected it to, but it is hard to tell. There is not a lot left anymore of the old gods and what they stood for, so I am interested to see what I can find here, especially if it pertains to Legion and more worship in that way.
All right. So you think that's maybe why the woods look so lacking in color?
That would be my guess,
All right.
but who knows?
Well, they haven't done nothing but watch us for now, so
This is true, but that is what he does. He watches. He is Legion. He is all death everywhere. He will see, and I'm sure he will judge, and we will have to deal with that when we get there.
all right.
Okay.
I wake up Thrall.
Thrall, you've been awoken.
I insanely doing freaking.
It's your turn.
And then I'll get up and go to the appropriate sitting or watch location.
Okay. Go ahead and make your perception checks for this third and final watch.
Which one came first? Okay, unnatural 20 for sight and 23 for smelling and hearing.
Gotcha. Okay, somebody roll a d20 for me.
Is that right?
Ah, couldn't get 3 for 3.
All right, you're fine.
Next time.
Oh no, it's
Third
that
and
is
final
a
watch.
bonus.
There are additional crows. Again,
It is.
they're just littering the trees now. You can sit there and count them if you want to, but there are.
Got nothing else to do.
Okay. Gotcha. There are now a total of 15 crows.
15
there.
crows.
That doesn't take that long to count to 15.
Well,
Well,
maybe
it's-
for Thrall.
Well, it's dark and maybe for
Wow.
it's dark and some of them are more than 60 feet away. So if you have 120 feet, you can. What do you have? 240 or some stupid thing? What do you got?
120.
360.
I'm not
You
a
can
Twilight Domain cleric.
See across the whole
Yeah,
world.
no, they are stupid.
Anyways, yeah. So 15 crows. Rest of your watch is relatively uneventful. They've finished feeding. I mean, you do notice that they've all kind of turned and are just staring at the cave now, unmoving.
That's weird.
Okay. Your watch concludes. Oh, you're going to say something?
No, that's it. That's weird.
It's the next morning. You guys pack up your stuff, get back on your horses, start the final leg of this journey. So, we will have one final roll for the day's travel before finally arriving at your destination.
Woo!
Oh no! It's the 20!
It's a
And
dragon.
the dragon.
It's a dragon!
What do you see?
Huh.
No,
Um,
going to die. Well, Duke's gonna die. We're gonna be fine.
Great.
okay.
Very kind of you to say.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I can't ruin the excitement of rolling the 20. So, not too long into your next day's travel. The trees have become more and more discolored. Things going from a lighter pale gray to a dark gray, almost charcoal. Most of the leaves have fallen off of a lot of these trees, giving you greater amount of visibility. And as you start to some extent, approach the low foothills in the beginning of Epoch's chain, Xander, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Perception.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good enough. There's a sound that you hear kind of, again, off to the left-hand side from where you guys are traveling. It seems like everything's on that side of you guys as you're moving on here. You hear... It sounds like a low hum at first. And as you're traveling on, you kind of like, that's interesting. And then the hum changes into a tone, a melody, a song of some kind as you hear a very light singing coming from somewhere off in the distance. And the song that's being sung ever so faintly that you hear is, "A dream is a wish your heart makes when you're fast asleep." And immediately you think back to yourself of the vision that you had on the mountain not too far from Beacon. And the song continues, but different from the one that you remember as a child. That everyone remembers as a child. And the lyrics just continue on smoothly, kind of cascading over the trees that are here in this dead, or seemingly increasingly dead landscape. You're familiar with the sound. What do you do?
It's like it's basically the same tune as the one that I had in the Hill Giant vision, right?
Can I ask you, Jason, a question?
Yeah.
Do you not know that song?
No.
Neither do I.
We're old.
First of all,
Well, I mean, I'm
cannot,
French Canadian.
I cannot abide this. This is ridiculous.
Like, I always have to bring a little bit of pop culture into my games. It's just something that I do, and I just wow. So Jason, I'll ask you another question. The song that Kellen heard when you guys were all flying on the turtle in the over Yeheda, did you recognize the song that I played then? You know what? You're just too tired to remember at this point. You're like barely alive, sitting here, a zombie in front of us. Yes, it's the song that you heard in the vision regarding the Hill Giant.
Okay. I'll just generally say, like, out loud, just that thing that I had that I saw in my vision, the Hill Giant one when we were in the mountains. You guys remember that one? It's nearby. Do you guys hear that singing, that tune, or is that just me?
Do we hear it?
If you listen real hard, you can hear it. Yeah.
Hearing something.
That's the same song that I heard a couple days ago when we were up in the mountain. We checked in on the Hill Giant just before then. That's the same song I heard. So
You saying that this is how your dream comes true? Well, what else happened?
well, in this vision, I was I guess a Hill Giant child that was in the grasp of this, I mean, nothing short of demonic looking creature. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something to that. But I mean, I have no way of knowing for sure if this has happened already or if this is going to happen now. I have no way of knowing that for certain.
If you say it's something nasty in the dream, is that something we want to avoid then? Or what happened afterwards? Was it something we got to face, or?
That's it. All I remember as a hill giant child, I guess, being in the clutches of this creature and off in the distance, we, as a group, were walking towards it. Look, I have yet to where I come across a vision that's completely wrong. There's always at least an ounce of truth, if not a mostly truth, in what I see. So whether or not we like it, we're probably on track.
Well, you say in
I'll
the
say.
dream, in the dream, we were walking towards it.
Yes.
I think we must have faith that whatever is happening for a reason. If we must walk towards it, then we must walk towards it. There's no point in it trying to escape fate or the gods. I am with you, Xander, if you prefer.
The song resonates a bit louder as you're continuing on your pace, as you're having this conversation and riding on horseback and continuing on. No matter how your heart is bleeding, if you keep on believing, the dream that you wish will come true. I would like everybody to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Ah, biscuits. Oh, that's bad.
I'm good at these.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
All right.
Razier.
Oh boy.
All
I'm gonna
of your-
re-roll myself really quick.
okay, using your chronomancy.
My chrono shift, yeah.
Chrono. Oh, it was meant to be. It was meant to be.
No.
All of you hear this song, and it's beautiful, and it's the way that it's being sung, and it just kind of like seeps into you, and you have a burning desire to head in the direction of the song. So, Razier, you see is literally everyone except for you turn, just without even saying anything, like the conversation's being had, the song just grows louder, and then everyone's like, oh, and then like heads off in a northern direction as fast as the horses and Gade will travel. Just immediately
I'm
heads
taken
off.
aback for a brief second. Did I feel like I shrugged something off?
Yes, there was that feeling
Okay.
of the song came over you.
Okay. Oh hell. And
Okay, so as everybody's racing off, we'll go ahead and call it tonight.